Alright, so we're transitioning over to the game in 3, 2, 1.
Alright, good morning.
Hello, gamers.
Alright, so today we've got for you some NieR Automata Blackout Bingo. I'm excited.
Yeah, so for those of you unaware, Blackout Bingo basically means that it's going to be the first person to fill out the whole entire board. So whatever board they get, they will have to do all of the goals. So that's Pog.
No lockout this time. We've run NieR a handful of times in Bingothon. NieR Automata loves Bingothon. So we've done double bingo, we've done lockout. This is neither of those things. This is the whole board, no stealing squares from each other. This is just the purest. I mean, they're going to be jam-packed with completing goals here. So it should be a lot of fun. Will you start us introducing the racers, Sugoi? Oh, well, hold on. First, we got to introduce ourselves. Who's commentating?
Oh, well, hello. I am Sugoi. I run this game, period. There we go. Yeah, I'm more to like shorter categories like A and E. Bingo is a whole nother beast, which is why I have my lovely co-commentator here.
Yeah, so I'm Game Commander. I'll keep it short and sweet. I'm the only guy who likes bingo. No, but I've played way more bingos than anybody else. Not because I'm the best, but because I just love NieR Bingo, and I've been in pretty much every NieR Bingothon on the commentating or playing side so far. So happy to share my love of this game with y'all.
Yeah,
And
I think we're ready to go with that.
racing the game, we have our two of our favorite people. We have Amei. He's in the Bingo Sync chat as a Togi Myth of Demons. He's streamed to something else, but we know him as Amei. And he is one of the best runners that this game has ever seen across many categories. Ran a bounty for the E category for a long time, and that was what it took someone to bring down his E record. But just an altogether really solid runner.
Then on the right side, we have good old Isum1644 or 1644. Excuse me, too many. Isum kind of has a niche all for himself. He likes the very weird categories, so he likes playing the game without weapons and just likes playing the game for like 10 hours at a time.
The routing god.
The routing
And
god.
the saves god. Isum saves are legendary for practice. Alright. I say we get us a countdown going.
Please feel free to do the honors, Bingo God.
Alright, I'm gonna count down in the Bingo Sync chat and out loud. So we're gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, go, go. Alright, so let's take a look at the board here once it gets revealed and people start speeding along. So, we've gotten the title that this is fixed seed Blackout Bingo. What that means is just that our lovely co-commentator Sugoi and I took a look at the board first and made sure there was nothing that couldn't be done within the estimate. But other than that, both of these runners are completely blind to this board. So right now, while they proceed through some initial menus, their most important thought is not speed in the game here. They are trying to route what the heck am I doing on this board while maintaining like a reasonable, we don't want to dolly. This is speedrun, but that's not where their brains are right now.
Yeah, so why don't you go ahead and I guess point out what our longest goal to obtain is going to be to kind of give an idea of how much story progress we're going to have to do to get through this run.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, NieR Automata is it's a pretty story-based game. It's got open world elements, but it's pretty story-based, and so a lot of these goals are going to require a certain amount of story progress to be able to be completed. So we're certainly going to see, I think, both runners pushing for story progress right off the bat and trying to fit what they can in next to their story progress. until they get to a certain point. The point which they break off, I don't know. That's a a point of individual contention. But we have some long goals here. For those of you who played the game, they'll know that buying a chip or material from Emil on his desert route won't become available until after they beat A2 in the forest. So certainly, there's no way to avoid that. There's no clever routing. They're beating A2 in this run.
Yeah, so I guess like there's a couple different ways to handle bingo. Based off this board, there's I guess like a good deal of longer things, and especially since there's fishing in a couple different locations. Like if I was playing this board, I don't know about you, but I'd probably be at least doing negotiations to get access to the transporter and then kind of going ham with the goals.
Yeah, so transporting is always huge. So I think we're definitely going to see an effort from the runners to go out of their way to pick up some transporters along their route while they push story, so that once they get negotiations and the map sort of unlocks, they've got that really quick method of transportation. Trying to get a Blackout bingo done without transporting is pretty difficult. So some other long goals of note, we've got complete John Paul's Melancholy, which for those of you who played the game, I think everyone remembers is a long quest. You have to go to a bunch of people all over the world, go back to John Paul, go back to all those people, come back to John Paul. So that will be a long one. We've also got upgrade the Type 40 Lance to level 2. You have the Type 40 Lance is also on this board here, and it comes from doing a quest, and you've got to do that quest and then collect all the materials to upgrade it, which is not particularly easy in and of itself. Both the upgrade goals are going to require some specific work, so I would expect one of those upgrade goals to be the final goal completed to win the bingo.
Target location acquired. Marking on map.
Yep. So I did a little bit of chatting with our two runners beforehand to kind of get their feeling about this run going into it. So from Isum, thankfully we didn't have his least favorite possible bingo goal, which was not being able to transport. Kind of talking, saying what basically getting rid of quick travel or fast travel, which would have sucked. So that's not on here, which is great. And the goal that Isum most wanted to see was removing all system chips except OS before leaving bunker. But unfortunately we didn't, or I guess fortunately and unfortunately we didn't get either of those goals. So, that's just how it be.
I love that goal. That's one of my favorites too.
As far as Amei, the goal that Amei wanted to see the most was just literally anything that meant that he had to beat A2 so that he could bum rush story. So
Amei's happy.
So it seems like we're probably going to have Amei just go absolutely ham.
Yeah, and so we've set up bingo a lot here, but to set up some of the speedrun elements, because this is definitely a offshoot of the speedrun. These runners are both speedrunners and know all the speed tech. You're going to see Amei, I think, if he's focusing on story, go really fast. I mean, as you see him run by some chickens here with our wonderful chicken mod. And he gets to take a nice little breather here to fish. I think he's taken a short detour for that goal. So this is a good example of, I think, what we're trying to see as you see Isum go along the sort of speedrun route there of Amei trying to fit in a goal with as little detour as possible. I mean, that was right along the beeline there. Sugoi, will you set up a little bit of the just tech from the speedrun that they're going to be seeing here?
Oh yeah, sure. So for this very, very short 5-minute portion of the game, what you're going to be see them doing is dashing and then punching. This is because kind of the way that speed goes is, first and foremost, running is slow, so just chaining dashes is faster than holding down run. After that, if you have bare fists, using your bare fists at the end of a dash is then faster than dash chaining. And then finally, as soon as they finish kind of with these first two initial fetch quests, they're going to upgrade their sword to level 2, and then well, actually the kind of movement you see Amei doing right now is what's going to be fastest. So that's kind of like the general speed, like the general go fastness. As far as combat, there's really only one real thing that we do for combat, and that's called a
Hold on. I want to interrupt you. I want to see.
Go ahead,
Amei might be doing a really interesting strat. We will see. He might be farming mats during the supply trader quest, which is a really cool strat. Yeah. No, or is he just saving? I don't know.
That's probably just because he has to go to factory later.
Yeah. Okay. He's just saving for factory. Never mind.
It's interesting. Oh, never mind. They both also did grab the meteorite. That's right. Yeah. So as far as combat goes, we mostly just do what's called a DG or like damage glitch by having a short sword, excuse me, in your weapon slot 2, and pressing evade and then heavy.
Amei's meteor jumping.
Yeah.
This is a really difficult trick, chat. For those who don't know, go try it yourself. We can get a lot of height in the speedrun, and we can get barely enough to climb that.
Yeah, your short sword will do 5 times the damage on each tick of damage that it deals. So combat is really, really trivial in this speedrun for the most part. And that's kind of the main tech for now, besides just everything is abusable, everything is cancelable, and the game's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, so when he says trivia, I mean, combat is fast. Combat is, I mean, we destroy it. Like, you're not gonna like die to combat, but the damage glitch is actually a really like fun and skill testing mechanic to use like optimally to really try and get the most out of it. Try and make sure you get all those ticks on. So I think you'll see some really great usage of that damage glitch.
Yeah. So. Oh, Amei already buying the 99 animal bait right off the bat. Okay. Wasting all the money on that.
So you'll see there, chat, for those of you who are observant, see how he just bought the most amount of animal bait that you could. And Amei marking. No, Amei, you have to use. Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
we're just a little bit ahead. Yeah. So I submitted that bingo goal, and I trolled them a little bit by making them drop one extra one and go back to buy. It doesn't really make it too much longer, but as we see Isum taking the same minor detour.
Actually, really interesting because Isum is the one who's kind of like doing the intended story path first. Just kind of the opposite of what I expected to see.
Amei riding an animal here.
Oh, so he's gonna go for Moose Clip?
On the left side of the board here, second from the bottom, we'll see ride an animal to the desert center. So that's where the story is taking us here, is to the desert center. So Amei does his buy, so he doesn't have to stop in the desert like Isum does, so he can ride a moose. And we may get to see, there's a cool out of bounds flip you can do with a moose. We'll see if Amei does it or if he does a little bit safer of a strat. It's kind of cool that the extra animal bait will mean he could jump off and destroy the barrier normally without losing his moose. I got an Isum taking a big deviation too. Isum is heading underground. Let's try and figure out what is he underground for. Oh, he has the Blade program. So kill 5 programs with the Blade program underground in the desert. So he's routed this along. So they both figured out different things they can do along this route, the story route out here to the desert. I wonder which is going to be more time consuming to sort of like come back and get later when it's not on the story route. So you can see this Blade program is not so quick because it knocks them all around.
I think Amei actually stopped at the desert camp as well and is now doing buys. So that's interesting.
Oh, wow. That is surprising. I would have expected him to just skip resilience and buy all of that in the camp. He probably is sitting there yelling at himself for not doing that right now, as I see he doesn't even buy resilience. Yeah, it's really hard, chat. You have this speedrun memory of what like the proper story beeline is in your head, and while you're trying to route an entire Blackout board in your head, you can just revert to muscle memory and to the route you've done thousands of times.
There's gotta be an easier way.
Yeah, the hard part of bingo is usually not only, well, it's like partially knowledge because you have to know, kind of where to do some of these strange things, but it's also just on, routing and
I love the
split-second
aesthetics
decision-making.
that they have matched up with each other. At Moose.
Oh my god,
Clip.
that was actually a good moose clip. Poggers.
I mean, look at that, chat. Isn't that just one? You would never see that in speedrun, and yet in Bingo, we get to see Amei just hop straight out of bounds with that moose. So we've heard before from many a speed game that walls are an idea, walls are paper, and that is definitely true here. I mean, you can just grab your friendly neighborhood moose and hop right out of bounds at one very specific spot.
Kind of going through and seeing what our next goal to be completed is probably going to be.
I have a feeling Amei is not going to grab the pod. I have a feeling it's not going to be worth his time. So that pod there that Isum just grabbed is not.
To it.
Maybe it will be worth his time to hop off and get back on the moose. It's not necessary for story progress, but it saves some time.
I didn't know that you could grab the pod while still on the moose.
Yeah, you can color me shocked too. I have learned something new, so that is definitely worth it. I imagine we'll see him get back on the moose, so he only needs to ride the moose to the center of the desert here, to that building off in the distance. But I imagine that we will see him continue to
it's faster, I'm sure, to hop on it. Yeah. Let's see. Oh nope, looks like the moose got spooked.
Oh, because he had to fight the guys. That makes sense. Oh wow, Amei shooting his lasers at the flyers on his way. That's part of the normal speedrun route. These flyers have a small chance to drop a taunt chip, which increases our damage by quite a bit.
What did he get?
Oh my god, he got a taunt.
Wow. Okay.
And there you go.
I'm surprised he's actually equipping it now and not waiting till later.
I'm surprised he's killing more flyers after equipping one. But we've routed in some different flyers here in the desert that we. And he's going back to pick it up.
Yeah. So I guess I'll kind of explain like the second part of combat real quick. So there's DGs. Then you oh my god, and the diamond taunt +2. Wow. Okay.
Oh man, Amei's gonna be wishing he was actually speedrunning here.
Yeah. Then there's DG and slow mowing. So by holding out a pod program, it will actually slow down the world around 2B. Then we'll get to DDG, which is where you have two short swords, so you can throw one, weapon swap, and throw another. And then there is taunting on top of all of that. So taunting is kind of a mechanic the game doesn't really explain, where if you flash your flashlight in an enemy, they'll get red, turn really angry, and by default it'll increase the damage that you deal and take by I think 150%, or is it just 50%? 50%, so 150% total. But with taunt chips, that will increase it by a lot more. So combat will start going even faster.
You just saw Isum there do a really cool out-of-bounds sequence that we have from the speedrun, where you skip going through all the normal parts of the desert and just go straight into the pit there. We'll see. Amei, I think, will repeat unless he has to get this transporter, so I'm not sure if he's gonna go back for it after killing these chickens. But it's a really cool out-of-bounds. That we've got a lot of lovely out-of-bounds terrain in this game that we can stand on, we can walk on, and a lot of out-of-bounds terrain that looks like we can stand on and walk on and cannot. So navigating out-of-bounds is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if it's actually faster or not to still clip out-of-bounds here or not, but they're both doing it.
I think all of us runners go do it just because that's what we're most familiar with, and we don't know the backup skips for not going this way because those haven't been part of the route in many years.
Plus, it looks cool.
It does look really cool. I mean, look at this. He climbing the out-of-bounds. Oh my god, Amei is going for... So Amei discovered, I believe he calls this weenie swag, which is his big, long out-of-bounds jump that saves absolutely no time.
Yes.
But it's really cool. This doesn't save any time. He's doing the same thing Isum did, just way harder, but way cooler. First try? First try. Wow. Alright. Big round of applause from Amei if you're watching at home. That is not easy, and I guarantee you he has not practiced that. Like, he just YOLO'd that straight up. Like, I'll bet you the last time he practiced that was when he discovered it. Well, when he, Aloyark, and I were messing around out of bounds. I forget whether he or Aloe was the first one who actually did it.
I think Amei found it, Aloe timed it, and said it's not worth it, and then Amei's doing it anyway because, you know.
That sounds like the relationship between those two to me. Alright, so we've got Adam here. I don't think anything spicy is going on. We've got a fair few goals in general that have spicy things that go on in Adam, but nothing I think on this board. I think they're
the next real question is, do you think Isum is going to push the box off the edge here, or do you think he's still going to do the normal clip?
Well, personally, I think the next real question is Isum ever going to mark kill 5 blades or machines with a blade program? He did it. We'll see if he marks it at some point here during the
It's
run.
the true bingo strat of not marking everything off.
I'm guessing he just forgot because he marked his animal bait. I don't think he's going for trying to mark a whole bunch of stuff in Amei's face.
Yeah.
Hopefully he remembers that he did it, because I'm not gonna say that it's never happened. Doing a long thing like a Blackout, you know, when you're doing 20-something goals, going, you know, did I do this goal or not? And if it's not marked on the board,
okay, this is good.
I wouldn't blame him.
So okay, so he is pushing the box off.
Yeah, so we've got this goal, push 2 boxes off ledges. So not pushing that box allows you to do a faster strat here, where you clip out of bounds and go do a save scum. But Isum, I think, correctly opting to push it off the ledge so that he can have that progress for a goal later. And he'll have to go pretty far, a decent way out of his way to go get the other box. What is he farming these for? Have you figured it out?
I don't know all the maths.
Is he gonna farm? So these do drop Rusty Club and Broken Circuits. I think you'd be insane to want to farm. So just so chat knows, all these upgrade weapon goals, every single one that's included has a way to get the materials guaranteed that requires no random drops from the world or random farming from enemies. That doesn't mean you can't randomly farm them from enemies. It just means that that's not required. So none of our speedrun goals here in Bingo are RNG completely. So fish in the amusement park sewer ones, I guess there's some RNG in how long it takes, but you don't have to sit there and fish for, you know, oh, wait until you get machine cart. So I think maybe he was just hoping he'd get incredibly lucky and could, you know, after a couple of kills, potentially skip doing a guaranteed method to get the mats, but farming mats is way slower. Farming mats is just not very generous in this game. And
Actually, I think I don't have game audio, but I think he might have been waiting for the dialogue, because I think the commander was talking. So maybe that's what it was.
Oh, he was waiting for the dialogue to say. I think that's slower than just running, but he may just not know that.
All right,
it's slower RTA, right? Because they're not running loadless, so it would be faster with the loads removed. Amei's doing the same thing, but in the speed run, we do loadless, so this strat where you save load is really quick because the loading time doesn't affect it. But in an RTA speed run, the loading is pretty slow, so it's not going to be faster. But again, you know, their brains are running 1,000,000 miles an hour trying to route 25 different goals. So they are probably just doing what they, you know, are most comfortable with, while they try and figure out how the heck, like, when am I going to do all of this stuff.
Yeah, I'm also curious if I guess if Isum's going to go for Coaster. I assume Amei is going to go for Coaster just because.
Oh yeah, I'd be pretty shocked if we don't see 2 Coaster. Coaster is actually good here. You can get the transporter without losing any time, and the transporter is needed for John Paul's Melancholy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually like a notable time save, because getting that transporter is the only good way to get back to amusement park, and it's not a particularly small detour to get without doing Coaster.
Fishing is taking very long for Isum.
That's unfortunate.
Catch lost.
But wait a minute. He already fished once. He already. I'm pretty sure did he just mark it early? I think
he marked it early.
Oh, okay. So he's not just YOLOing Iron Pipe.
No, because they shouldn't have been in amusement park sewer before this. So he probably like marked it. He sat down to fish and probably marked it.
Oh my god, he pulls it up early. So there's one animation of the pod fishing here that looks really similar to it just waiting there. So he probably thought he got that animation.
He
Oh
did
my
get
god,
Iron
he gets
Pipe.
it. So Iron Pipe is the best weapon in the game that can only be obtained by RNG fishing. We'll see if he uses it for the meme or just keeps on with Virtuous.
What are those?
So fun fact, the initial sword that we get, Virtuous contract is actually like the best short sword. I mean, it might not be actually, but it's at least close to it. It does a lot of damage and it has attack speed up as its first benefit for leveling up, and it's also just got a really good attack speed for another.
Oh my god, Amei got Iron Pipe also.
Oh my god, that's rare, you guys. Just so you know, Isum is going to be giggling his butt off when he comes to talk to us at the end, because he runs A to Z, where you need to fish for Iron Pipe, and he's always talking about how he spent, 17 tries, 24 tries to get his Iron Pipe.
And Amei's actually equipping it.
Let's go, Amei! Clap for Amei using the pipe strats. Probably roughly either not worth it or even, just because we aren't doing a ton of heavy combat in Bingo. But
Okay, he's also grabbing Spear early, so maybe he's killing Tank with Coaster?
Yeah, he
Isum
might
going-
be doing Tank Booster.
yeah.
So
Isum
that
also doing Coaster right now.
That spear that he just grabbed is something that Isum might grab as part of this skip. So this skip right here we call auto scroller coaster skip, and it's a really sick skip that allows you to set the roller coaster off on its own. It goes and it does its own thing, and when it's done, it'll warp you over there. So you've got like a minute to figure out whatever you want to do. And in the speed run, we go grab a spear because spear is fast. We'll see if I think Isum is probably going to try and get the spear and the transporter. He might have to throw a slow-mo or two in. I think you can do it without slow-mo if you're really tight.
And if he goes for there's one clip you can go for right there that makes it really free. But also because he's still dash punching instead of dash swinging, just like better muscle memory based off of weaponless. I think you need to slow-mo.
He might have. It's possible that I didn't actually check if he upgraded his Virtuous contract.
Okay, Amei also going for the kill all the...
Amusement.
Yeah.
So kill all the enemies in the amusement park. This is not a short goal, but it's a super cool goal. And it's an interesting idea about whether you do it now, because you're already here, or whether you wait till you're a higher level and can just murder everything. For those of you who have played the game a lot and know that there's that bunny in the center, that's not part of it. You do not have to kill the bunny, because you can't kill that thing at level 8, I can tell you that.
Okay, so Isum did manage to get the transporter and the spear.
Very nice. That's not that easy. He had to throw some slow-mos in there. So Sugoi talked earlier about how charging that pod program like Amei's doing slows down the game world. You need to do that to slow down the coaster unless you're really, really tight to go get that spear, because you're on a limited amount of time.
Isum also just equipped the Iron Pipe as well, I believe, unless I missed.
Oh, I guess he might as well.
Yeah, he did
look,
it.
you can see how he just murders Beauvoir there. So he wanted to avoid thresholding her too early. Wow, there's so much to talk about. That's the beauty of Bingo. As Amei continues to just shamelessly murder these robots who just wanted to party with him. He's gonna murder every single one, their family. They've got little machine children, and he just doesn't care. That's the Amei we know and love.
I don't think 2B. I'm detecting black box signals. They've been turned into weapons.
Oh, Amei buying mats already.
Yeah, setting up. So this guy is one of the important material sellers who sells things that we can use to upgrade. I think Amei pausing there for just a second to make sure he bought everything he needs from that guy, while Isum makes short work of these poor robots in the Beauvoir fight. So I was saying earlier that I think Isum may have been dash punching. He may have not upgraded his Virtuous contract, because all the Virtuous weapons take the same materials to upgrade. So by skipping upgrading Virtuous contract, he would be able to
he'll
upgrade
have VG.
Virtuous 3 without having to go get any separate materials. He'd be able to upgrade Virtuous Grief straight up. Now that's got a big drawback of not having the movement speed from the upgraded Virtuous Contract and the damage from the upgraded, but he'll have shored up both of those by getting the Iron Pipe. So if he did that, it'll have worked out beautifully for him.
I'm gonna go check that actually. That's really smart.
Yeah, really, I mean, I'm not sure, there's no way he was planning on getting the Iron Pipe. I think he was just willing to take the time loss, but it has worked out quite beautifully, and I'm sure he knew that he had the possibility of having it work out that way. Isum picking up.
Did Amei do coaster and now it's killing tank?
No, he just straight up went to go kill the tank. I think he's trying to make sure he gets the kill all the enemies thing, so he's not, I think, willing to risk the fact that he does 90% of it and then the tank yanks him back.
Okay, so you're also correct. Isum did in fact skip upgrading VC, so he's actually been doing the right thing by dash punching this whole time.
Yeah, all right. I had a feeling. I had faith in Isum, and so I didn't see him do that strat, but it's one I was aware of. That's again like that requires some pretty specific bingo knowledge to like pre-plan the Virtuous.
Is that a freshwater ray? Holy, what is this RNG on this run?
Bless RNG for Isum here. He's getting all the RNG contained in his Bingothon Blackout, which he's gonna wish he had for some of his categories where he needs it more.
Okay, so now Isum's doing to kill all the robots in the amusement park as well, or kill all the machines. So just doing it after Bouvor.
Amei takes a leisurely ride upon the roller coaster the intended way.
This actually, I actually don't hate this because it also gives you time to kind of think about your routing.
Well, and it actually has a fair chance of dropping chips too, and we have the 15 chips, the different names and levels. So I believe that's partly why he was going for the taunt chips earlier too, and that he's trying to see how many he can just naturally have. You'll see him do, Isum did this too, where there are some chips you can pick up that are guaranteed +3 chips at the end of Bouvor, which will help, and he'll leave these on the ground, but he can wind up getting a fair amount by RNG. Now you can get these for sure without RNG. There are lots of quests that give guaranteed chips, and you can fuse chips. If anyone played this game, you can buy different chips and fuse them together to make higher levels. But the less he has to do that, the less money he needs. It's really expensive to fuse a lot of chips.
Yeah, plus the game is kind of weird, and if you any drops that are down on the ground when you go into a cutscene will be duplicated. It's not really good for the bingo goal specifically, but it does help with money.
Yeah, and the money's pretty big. So in something like double bingo, money is not usually that tight. It's not a big deal. In this bingo, where you're going to need to be buying a lot of stuff. They have to buy that 99 animal bait. They're going to have to buy Beast Lord, buy Machine Axe. Like, money is going to get tight. So if they're just frivolous, they have to buy a bunch of materials to upgrade things. Like, so trying to do things like that conserve money is probably going to be helpful. Otherwise, you could wind up having to like fish for money in the middle of your speedrun. Although I guess we get to fish 3 times naturally on this board for a little bit of cash.
Yeah, but Foro Lance is in Flooded City, right?
Foro Lance is your hub betrayers.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was thinking.
Yeah. Oh, so God, they have to buy Mirage and Blade Program too. They have to spend so much.
Yeah,
money.
That's what I was about to mention. So we have buying Mirage, buying Blade Program, Beast Bane is buyable, not Beast Lord, right? Beast Lord is a chest in. What's it?
Beast Lord is you buy it in the res camp.
Beast Lord is? Okay, I was thinking Beast Bane. I always get them confused.
I think they both are there.
That's that. Buying chips from Emil, which I guess are not expensive on Desert Route.
So that core. Oh, don't stop grabbing the core. That gets double looted. I think they both did, but that gets double looted. These guys have never been tank killers during the speedrun, and it shows. But so if you leave that on the ground, you'll get 2 cores instead of 1, which is helpful for routing. I mean, killing that tank is optional. It's not a needed part to progress. If you didn't know, the game actually has some nice dialogue if you skip it. But I would have loved to see them leave it on the ground for the extra cash.
Grabbing all those +3s. Let's see. I guess I'm making do door clip. See if it happens. It does. Nice.
You know, I think Amei may have also done the skip upgrading Virtuous Contract. The reason I think that is Isum just went to that trader and he already had 5 crystals, and those 5 crystals came from not upgrading. Amei also had 5 crystals. I assumed he had just opened the shop twice, but I think he may have still had his 5 crystals from saving the Virtuous, so I think they may both be doing that. Which is pretty smart. Now, little do they know, actually, it's not 100% needed. They actually could pretty reasonably have done it without not upgrading VC. There are pretty good ways to get all those mats, including John Paul's Melancholy gives some important mats for upgrading Virtuous items, which is already required. So, as my stream drops out.
They really don't want to fight.
Got a nice little bit where the runners are relatively in sync again.
I know, isn't that wonderful? We've had this, like, I think this is like the 3rd time where they both go off and do like pretty separate things, and then they are meeting up within, I mean, they're within 5 seconds of each other on the speedrun route, which is super cool to see. I mean, I think Amei is definitely the favorite here in terms of if you would put them up head to head, which one of you can just do the speedrun. I don't think that's contested. So Isum, I think, is doing an incredible job keeping up with Amei. And we'll see if he can keep it up while continuing to complete a bunch of goals. I think they've got a little bit of goal separation, which I really like to see. I like to see them not going for the same thing all the time, but that's bound to happen in a run as long as Blackout. The real winner is the bingos we met along the way. I agree, Harmjan.
Oh, I guess I should also explain spear dashing, because we've been doing that now. So spear dashing is the final evolution of movement.
Boar hopping is the final evolution of movement. Boar hop for the rest of the route. You got 99 animal baits. You can keep getting on that boar. Continue with your spear dash explanation.
Yeah, so after dash swinging, if you get a spear, you can make this really, really obnoxious animation cancel where 2B yells a lot and it's fast, and that's the explanation. Be very thankful we play on upgrading Iron Pipe. Amei did.
Oh, let's go, Amei. Hope that didn't use any mats he needs.
And then grabbing. Was that the photographs?
Did Amei just die? Did Amei just die on purpose for a death ward? Yeah, he did.
All right, Isum buying Beast Lord. And then
Alright, yeah,
is he gonna upgrade Iron Pipe?
Is he gonna upgrade Iron Pipe too? Let's go.
He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it.
He's thinking about it really hard.
No. He went with no.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to look at.
He went for it. Okay.
Do they need those crystals? I want to check if they need those crystals. So Virtuous Grief needs crystals. 4-0 Lance does not. Is there anything else they need to upgrade?
Buying Mirage.
Yeah, so he didn't need those crystals. So yeah, he can upgrade the pipe. And man, you're gonna see them zoom along with pipe level 2 plus spear. I mean, just look at how fast Amei is going. He is just blitzing his way through the city ruins.
Mirage. Okay.
We're seeing a backup explosion there from Isum. I'm not sure if he missed it. Oh no, he leveled up from killing robots because he killed the robots after Buvar. So a little bit of a routing edge there from Amei. May have realized it or may have just happened to do it, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that he realized that you would level up if you fought the robots after killing Buvar, and we SD at the end of Buvar to have 1 health so that boar there can kill us in 1 hit. Isum having to do the slightly slower backup of SDing there in the res camp, and when you get up from SD, you're real slow and you hobble around and, clutch your chest. So,
do you guys mind if I jump in a quick sec?
Yeah,
please do.
I just want to remind everyone that coming up next is, of course, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword Randomizer. And we have a a bid war going for that, where you can pick a character name. Currently, the only name is Spyro at $10. So if you want to snipe that, you should really get your donations in as soon as you can, because it's going to be coming up right after NieR Automata. Thanks, guys.
That'll be exciting. Yeah. So, speaking of money, while we're talking about, I told the runners before the race, for every minute under the hour and a half estimate here, I will be donating $2. For every minute the first person finishes, I will be donating $2. So, give them your best energy to hope that they can finish really fast and make me really bored.
Trying to remember, didn't Isum also already fish an amusement park? I don't think I saw Amei do that.
You know, I didn't see. Did either of them mark it? I'd be pretty surprised, because that's a sort of free grab. It's a pretty free grab on the way out of before, but I think they may have just been so focused on routing they missed it. That'll be a little bit of an annoying detour to come back for, to be honest.
Yeah,
but they did get the transporter, which makes that not too bad. I think they may have both skipped it.
I know I saw Isum do it, because Isum got a freshwater ray, which is dumb RNG.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. He just forgot to mark it. Hopefully he remembers to mark it. But yeah, alright, so Amei here. So we've got a goal. Complete negotiations, dealing no damage, and not leaving bounds. Dealing and taking no damage. This goal used to be really fun and really hard in Bingo, because you would have to sit there and duke it out with Adam and Eve. However, since that goal was created, a new trick was discovered that Amei is doing right here. This is a really cool trick, and it allows us to skip that entire fight, which means that he will complete the goal. He won't leave bounds, he won't take damage, he won't deal damage, but he doesn't have to sit there and duke it out with Adam and Eve. He has to do this kind of nail-biter of a strat here, where he gets a trigger, comes and jumps over this barricade, and he's going to do, we call it extended dialogue storage. So he is going to kill this quest giver on the same frame that he gets the quest from him. And in doing so, he's going to be able to walk around with this dialogue box open and actually have to wind up using his keyboard and mouse to do an out-of-bounds clip so that it doesn't advance the text box. And the amusement park is right above the alien mothership where you fight Adam and Eve. And he'll be able to, with that text box still open, make his way all the way into the fight and use the text box to cancel out the dialogue, which ends the fight. Really cool trick that Allier found, a really exciting part of the speedrun because it saves a ton of time and it's really risky. There's a lot that can go wrong here. So
speaking of Legend of Zelda,
bated breath.
this is NieR's version of dialogue storage. Did Isum mess up? Did Isum get knocked off?
Oh my god, did Isum get knocked off?
Because
he did that. This camera angle only comes from being knocked off. Oh, that is really bad luck from Isum, guys. He's gonna have to do a really slow backup here. In the speedrun, if you do this, like, you usually just reset. That's how slow this backup is. The invisible wall is gonna prevent him from coming back in bounds, so he's gonna have to fight. No? What? Why did the invisible wall? That's okay.
You can still go over it. Again.
The invisible wall, so he must not have been knocked off, because there's an invisible wall at the back. If you fall off, or if you get out of here, the invisible wall at the back is loaded, and you can't walk back into this zone, like, it's back near the ladder.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He must have just fallen down the ladder and trying to jump it.
Interesting.
So,
Alright, Amei did in fact get EDS, so this will be, you'll see in a second, the free, basically what this is going to do, once the fight starts, it's just going to immediately cancel the dialogue that happens with the dialogue that you have on screen, and the fight's instantly going to end. So that is in fact completing this goal.
Yeah, so that's really, I mean, it's something Amei has practiced a lot of times, but it's still a really impressive trick. And if you mess up, you know, you advance that text box once when you don't mean to, which is really easy to do considering the A button on your Xbox controller, which jumps, will advance that text box. If you jump at any point during your scary out of bounds movement, you can cancel it. So Isum, unfortunately, having a lot of trouble with angles. There's a strat at the beginning angles where we just jump straight out of the fight with him, and if you miss it, you have to go for some backups, and I think Isum, just having a little bit of trouble with the backups, wind up just killing him, but that will give him some extra money, so it's not all bad. It's not all bad.
Let's see.
Okay, Isum marks fish in the amusement park once, and that Atogi guy is transporting his way to the bunker.
So I guess what are the other two easy key items you think they're going to try to pick up? Because they already have two, I think, with the sound card and...
Key items is a weird one. You can do, you get 2 key items from a really slow quest. The one where you escort the pink-haired little girl machine through the desert gives you both the blue ribbon and the pink ribbon. So you can finish it off right there with just that one, but man, that is a slow quest. You have to walk that robot around the desert as she asks you interesting questions, and she walks very slowly and she cries a lot of unspeakable dialogue. So see if they go for that, if they come up with a more creative routing for it.
So a quick little, Amei making a quick little detour to go ahead and grab 11B's Memento. Isum doing EDS.
Yeah, that's a smart grab from here. There's a quest, one of the key items, drop the shortcut in the factory, requires us to go all the way out to the factory, and so does 11B. So making sure he picks up 11Bs here before he heads out to the factory will save him from having to head out there twice. Yeah, Isum also performing EDS, so hopefully, cross your fingers. If he messes up EDS, not only is it going to lose him a bunch of time because we'll have to wait for that whole fight, but if he then goes in the fight, if he gets hit in the fight, he'll lose a tremendous amount of time. He'll have to save. He'll have to load a save, because you only get one chance at that. So you have to do. Did he do a safety save?
I know Amei did. I did not see.
I know Amei did. Because you have to do. I don't think he did. Oh my god. So really hope he doesn't mess up EDS here, guys. Because if he doesn't mess up EDS, he's got the potential to, I mean, just lose an insane amount of time.
He should be good from here on out.
He should be good. He's done all the hardest parts of EDS. Whew, big exhale.
And Amei also picking up the first part of John Paul's Melancholy here.
John Calls Melancholy, the wonderful quest that is impossible to say. For those of you who don't know, Sartre here, John Paul, is kind of a huge jerk. There are all these robots who really like him and they want to give him gifts, and he doesn't care about them at all. He doesn't want to talk to them, he doesn't want to see them, and he just disappears without them. So
11. So Amei currently has 11 chips, it looks like.
I'm gonna trust him that when he marks it, he's counted. Because 15 is about 14 numbers higher than I can count. So.
Oh, and now he's just gonna buy all the really fast. Okay, that's pretty smart. Just buying all the possible cheap chips from here.
Yeah, we'll see. All those auto chips are system chips, so hopefully he's not counting those.
Transfer your consciousness to a temporary body back in the bunker. I heard some tech guys talking about it a while ago, but I didn't know they finally got it working. Anyway, I'll mark the positional data on the map.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
13
11, 12,
I counted.
13, 14 I counted. I think he's missing one. He's counting again.
Oh, Isum already go ahead and take care of the killing machines underground with Mirage.
All right, I'm gonna assume that I missed one, and that he counted correctly. I'm not gonna. I think that's more likely because I saw him go through and count twice. So if he counted twice and he got it twice, then I'm confident he got it. So really nice there. So he managed to do it without fusing. Is that right?
I believe so.
That's pretty impressive. That's hard to do. So he got both some good RNG and some smart purchasing there from that shop vendor. As Amei continues to blaze forward in story progress, I mean, completing some pretty long goals while still getting here in 45 minutes. Gonna visit the commercial factory kind of for free. That goal is a little bit more interesting when you don't already have to go to A2. So we're at the halfway mark here in terms of time towards the estimate. Where would you say? I mean, if you had to give the edge to someone here, Sugoi, who would you be giving the edge to?
I think I'm going to give the edge to Amei because I don't believe I saw Isum grabbing the Desert Center transporter mostly.
That's a good point. Oh, as 9 has fallen out of bounds there on Isum. Do you see that? His camera goes crazy. But yeah, I think Isum and Amei, I would have said, were completely neck and neck prior to city angles. And Isum, while trying to do all this routing, while playing really solid NieR for 45 minutes, had the wheels slip off just a little bit. And he fell a little bit behind in progress. Now, it's certainly not out of the question. There's a lot of routing left to do, to be honest with you. This is far from like, oh yeah, just go here, get this, it's done. But I think he's going to need to come up with some pretty clever routing and execute it well.
Okay, so he's going to go ahead and take care of 11B's momentum right now as well before A2.
Yeah, I think, so at this part of the stage, guys, we've done negotiations. Both of them did that really scary EDS. Well, much more scary for Isum since we didn't have a backup save. But now we have transporting, and so now the map opens up a ton. And so I imagine we will see them going for entirely different stuff at different times for the remainder of this run, because they really have a lot of freedom. Basically every goal is available now, with the exception of Emil, which still requires A2, which is what Amei is going to grab to fully open it up. But the world is their oyster. So Amei grabs Virtuous Grief on his way into the desert. That's not a goal, but he'll need to upgrade it for a goal. So smart of him to do that pretty cool out of bounds clip that's not used anywhere in the main A category or longer E category speedruns, but does get used in some side categories like A to Z.
Oh, the A to Z clip from Isum, speaking of which. Oh no, I voted out.
It's deceptively difficult. I know some speedrunners who may or may not have been top 10 on the leaderboards, and our named game commander who have tried for hours and can still not do this clip. So
this clip is not fun. Less for the clip and just more like voiding out in general just kind of sucks because you just kind of sit there and fall for forever.
Yeah, I mean, Isum definitely, he loves the cool tricks, and he is an A to Z runner himself, so he is not going to let this go. He's, you know, he's going to full commit to making sure he gets this, and he's got it. All right. Happy to see that. Oh, and he's doing an even longer, oh, wow. That's wonderful. I really like seeing that full length one.
Cool out of bounds you don't usually see from both runners. Pretty pog.
As Amei does Rainbow Road here, skipping a trick called Mario Kart, where you, you know, pretend like you've got Lakitu and you void out somewhere that puts you a little bit further along in the track that is the speedrun. Did you guys blink? Because if you did, you would miss Amei clipping out of bounds by just continuing to do his normal movement somewhat near a wall.
Alright, so we have the Sarad. Just have to grab this tutorial data from shooting this down.
The real goal of the speedrun. Oh, and he's gonna knock it down.
This is such a cool death warp.
Yeah. Gonna knock it down, he's gonna die. So it took a really long time to get out here, guys. You saw how long it took Isum to get out here. And he's gonna drop the bridge on his own head after he SDs so he can get out for free with a death. That saves actually like a ton of time death warping as opposed to running out. I mean, multiple minutes.
VG has been upgraded as well as talking to Masamune.
Have Masamune upgrade. Oh, that's really clever. So he's come here to Masamune to upgrade a weapon before going to A2 because it's right along the route. But normally we wouldn't be able to upgrade anything because usually you need to talk to Emil to upgrade stuff, or you need to go out of your way a lot to get those materials. But because he didn't upgrade his Virtuous and he could upgrade Virtuous Grief now, which he grabbed on the way in, he's got an upgrade available. That's really smart, and he can, wow. look at those 3 goals he does all at the same time, right next to the story route. I mean, really good routing from Amei. And I see some discussion of the story here in chat. Thankfully, this game is spoiled very little story-wise by watching the bingo, because we do such a good job skipping all our cutscenes. This game has an amazing story, and you are doing yourself a disservice if you have not played it and seen it for yourself. As
The
Amei
video
just
game is cool.
absolutely destroys A2 there. I mean, dear God.
Yeah, I don't know if we already said it, but the big reason that Iron Pipe is so cool is because like when you upgrade Virtuous Contract, it gives you increased attack speed, and whenever you upgrade, or is it just default? I actually don't remember, but Iron Pipe has crit on it just as a weapon, so get lucky and you get tons of damage.
It's also really fast and has great base damage. And Isum doing a really cool clip there. He must have done it before and I missed it, where he clips out to save himself from going to ride the elevator down. That saves not that much time, but it's super sick. And it does save time, so.
Okay, Isum also grabbing the photographs quest. Hog.
Yeah, we're getting in here. I mean, I certainly think they're on track to make Estimate. The story progress takes a lot of time, so now that Amei has beat A2, he's done with story. He doesn't have to do any more story to finish. I think you're going to see him really get to blitz out some goals here. And he's got a fair few goals that he's like set up here. He's grabbed transporters near where he needs to go so that he can get back quickly. I mean, Amei is putting on a masterclass. I'm going to lose a lot of money.
So actually, I'm not even sure. Where is the second box that you end up pushing off for that goal?
The bottom of the forest ravine, actually.
Okay.
So I'm not sure when he's going to be able to route that in efficiently, but
Probably forest photograph.
oh yeah, so he can grab the forest photograph and then plunge down to the ravine and push the box off the edge.
Then just death
so-
warp.
Especially for a long bingo like Blackout, I think one of the most common experiences when you're trying to run it is just constantly have the feeling of, oh man, I should have done this at this time. I should have done this strat so I can, so I could have done it more efficiently. Honestly, I think when we talk to Amei and we're going to ask him, like, did you feel like you made any mistakes? I feel like he might say no. He is honestly just putting on like a masterclass of bingo here. And for someone who plays this game just an incredible amount, but doesn't play an incredible amount of bingo, he's been a winner of several past bingothons. I think is showing, trying to make an argument that he is the true master of bingo in NieR Automata.
The true big brain. Let's see.
All right. Taking a little bit of a breather here as they both do some menuing. Amei, I didn't see what he bought from Emil, but I'm guessing he bought some mats that he might need to upgrade.
I would assume so, because I don't even think he opened up the chip buy menu, so.
Yeah, no reason. Combat, for the most part, is done here. I mean, we'll have a little bit, but speeding up our combat doesn't do all that much for us at this point, as he buys the programs he needs. Very nice.
Yeah, there's actually no real combat that Amei has. Well, Amei still has to do the killing the machines in specific locations, but...
He'll have to do Your Betrayers.
Oh, that's true. Also, your Herbitrers, yeah.
So it will help with that. I think, as Amei, what is he going here for? I don't know. What's he going... Am I wrong? Is it... Oh, he's...
We don't get to choose our assignments.
Resistance. Oh, of course. I'm silly. Resistance Disappearance. So, Resistance Disappearance is a quest that the game normally, like, you would think it'd be required to do another quest called Sorting, or called the Manager's Request, to be able to get into that back section. Because you need to go find a scrap of a cape, or a red scrap that's back there. Amei just slipping right out of bounds and then doing a save load to escape. So that he doesn't need to. And he's doing this because he needs the materials to upgrade the Type 40 Lance. So he's setting up that upgrade that I thought might be the last, but it looks like if he's doing it now, he may take care of that a little bit early.
And Isum's going to go ahead and shove down the second box.
Yeah, which was set up a long time ago. If you guys were watching back after Adam, they pushed that first box off the ledge. So that setup was a long time before the payoff of pushing that second box. But I'm sure it feels good to do.
Do we have time for a quick message?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, thank you. I just wanted to do a little reminder, which I suppose would be really relevant considering we're playing NieR Automata here, that one of our prizes here at Bingothon Summer 2021 is a NieR replicant version, and this was gets mouthful 1.22474487139 ... There you go. I hope I did not mess it up. Which you can potentially obtain with a minimum donation of $30, which can be accumulated. So, for instance, you can donate $5 now, $15 later, and that will accumulate for you. So definitely, that's something that's worth it. And something that's also been pointed out in chat is that this very game, NieR Automata, is available in the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. That is also another prize we have here at Bingothon, which you can get for potentially a minimum donation of $50. So if you are an RNG god, maybe by some chance, if you donate $50, you will gain both the Game Pass Ultimate and NieR Replicant, and you just get the whole NieR package. I don't know, yeah.
well, that would be nearly impossible.
Oh god. Well, I shall send my little clap of appreciation. I don't know if you could hear it, but there we go. My little clap of appreciation. And of course, last reminder that if you do donate, you can send it towards the Skyward Sword Randomizer character name bid war as well, since we're still sitting at $10 for Spyro, and you can submit any option you like. Alright, cheers, and have fun with the run.
Thank you so much. Yeah, would love to see some new people get to experience NieR through a donation to Bingothon. That would be pretty cool. If any of you have played this game and are curious and speedrunning and are playing Bingo, or haven't played the game and then play it after seeing this and are interested, the sponsored by Drakengard is the URL that will help take you to our speedrun Discord server. People are super friendly. It's a speedrun server for all the NieR games and the Drakengard games, including Automata and Replicant, the new Replicant. People are super friendly and willing to help out. And I think it's a really fun speedrun to learn. We've got good resources. We've got video tutorials, text guides, all of that to learn the speedrun.
Yeah, play video games. They're fun. Alright, so I'm heading out to the Oasis, it looks like. Gonna go ahead and take care of that photograph.
I never cease to be amazed at how much damage Iron Pipe plus Taunt outputs. I mean, Amei is just obliterating the Yorha Betrayers, which can take a really long time in Bingo, because you get there really underleveled.
Especially with Taunt plus 2, just melting.
Just melting. Hardjohn, it's NieR Replicant version 1.5 root. So it's the root of 1.5. That's the repeat that you get.
NieR Replicant version newer.
Version newer than the old one. As Isum zooms back out after getting that photograph, I assume it will get marked when he goes into the transporter. It's a nice time to mark things.
Let's see this sick A through Z clip again.
Yeah, let's see if I'm making it first try. This is not easy. I mean, we saw Isum take a handful of tries to get it, but Amei's been on fire, so we'll see if he can continue.
That was weird. Yeah, Amei really likes to do so. Along with more Amei swag, Amei will do this during normal A runs just because. So a little bit more. I was gonna say more practice with it, but having some issues. The rust is real.
Yeah, clips and bounds once there. This is not easy. I mean, I really cannot emphasize to you how not easy that is. But he's got it going now, and yeah, big claps. I mean, I'm proud of both of our runners for going for it. I would have weenied out were I doing that live because I'd be too worried that I'd mess it up. Because once you start, you can't go for a backup, and if you don't want to sit there for 20 minutes while chat watches you. So props to them for both stepping up to the challenge. Alright, so let's talk about what we have left here as we start to get a lot of things marked. Now, it's a little bit deceptive because you see there's a lot of goals marked that only one of them has done. So we're not quite as close to finishing it out. So for one runner to finish, they need to do every single goal. So, you know, the whole board's going to be gray or the whole board's going to be blue. But we're closing in on it here. But Amei has most of the progress he needs for upgrade Type 40 Lance, which is probably one of our most challenging goals here. So that is a good chunk of what he needs. I think you'll see him have to go back and pick up that fish in the amusement park. And he'll be teleporting around for John Paul's Melancholy and get those kills. But he'll be closing in on the end of it there as he does that same cool death warp that Isum does by getting bonked on the head with a bridge.
Has Isum done A2 yet? I don't believe so.
No, I don't think he has. And Harmjohn, so for every minute they go over, I actually steal money from Bingothon. I break into the vault. So this is all an elaborate heist. They're gonna hold it hostage, and I will be the man who killed Bingothon.
Which is why you should donate with the character name NieR to the Skyward Sword incentive.
Nice. I liked how you worked that in. So we see Isum going for a clip there and then deciding screw it. It takes like 3 seconds to walk around. The spear is amazing for clipping out in this game. If you can find a corner, you can probably clip out using your spear. But sometimes you've been speedrunning Bingo for an hour and you just want to walk around. Ye of little faith. Oh, I have plenty of faith in Amei. I have plenty of faith. And what are you doing listening to commentary? Get back to speedrunning. I'm here talking to you about how focused Amei is. He's dialed in and he's like, chicken mod, typing in chat.
SMH not even taking pictures of the chickens.
SMH. MH. As Amei is also clipping out of bounds here and causing 9S to fall off the map. And the Atogi guy. Yeah, he's not some Atogi guy. He's the Atogi guy.
When do you think you'll be willing to call me
See, how many John Paul admirers do we have left to do?
Aren't we all John Paul admirers today?
This must be the commercial structure Pascal was talking about.
They've got to go visit each and every person in chat and get their gift to John Paul.
Take this coffee mug. There you go, Jean Paul. This proves my love to you.
Yeah, I think I've got an empty bag of chips. That's all. About all he deserves. All right, so we see Isum going to go do A2. We saw Amei do that quite a bit ago, but it's it's only needed for a small percentage of these goals here, and so Isum went to go take care of a bunch of other stuff first. But we'll see the goal progress freeze for Isum for a second as he has to go through and do that story progress. I presume we'll see him grab Virtuous Grief on the way in as well if he knows the clip.
Yeah, I learned that. I've not seen that clip before, so I learned something new this run.
Yeah, there's actually
this run, actually.
Yeah, there's actually a couple of different clips you can do in the commercial facility. Amei doing certainly an easier one than the one I know. Looks like Isum's going around, so he may actually go get Virtuous Grief the intended way.
Better keep your guard up.
It's not actually that far of a detour from the intended path. I recently just learned it's sort of weird to get that item the intended way because they have a fair few invisible walls that sort of block your path. But
If you want to play, NieR Replicant version new, instead just walk into an invisible wall, and that's basically the experience you'll get.
So we see Amei. We were talking earlier about how he missed his opportunity to fish in the amusement park right next to the route, but the amusement park photograph. Wait, is amusement park photograph a goal, or did he just get it because he happened to have the photograph quest and he got here? Yeah, it's not even a goal. He just happened to get it on his way back here, so he's picking up that that fish that he missed earlier.
Also taking a very, very long time to get this.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that was a water flea, I guess.
Yeah, what, chat, you can't see it? You can't see that gigantic fish that he caught? Isum did catch the larger fish. I would like to point that out. So we may need to discuss afterwards how much of a time penalty Amei gets for his fish being so much smaller than Isum.
Well, I guess it depends on what we get in City Ruins from Isum.
The fishing battle continues. They both got Iron Pipe earlier, so that one's a tie. In the amusement park. Alright, so Amei is on his way through the followers of Sarch. Jean-Paul. So one fun little fact, I think most people probably know this if they played the game, but the robots are named after famous philosophers. So we have Simone de Beauvoir, Jean-Paul Sartre, Engels, who is somebody I'd never heard of before, but I
Engels was a friend of Grun's. I learned that during whatever last marathon I did.
Grun is a great friend of ours that probably the most fun part of the speedrun that most of the Automata runners will tell you that, but unfortunately we don't get to see him in the speedrun. It's a real shame. We really thought about, man, how can we make Bingo include Grun? We really got to get it in there, but there was just no way to do it. We definitely didn't purposefully engineer the entire Bingo so that we would not have to do Grun.
Yeah, I mean, I love auto-scrollers, so...
Yeah, 15-minute auto-scrollers. We definitely didn't make it only goals completable without doing Grun, specifically just because everyone hates Grun.
Okay, so Isum not going for the Masamune before A2.
2B. That's...
Amei is voiding out to reset Emil for a reason I can't figure out.
Annihilation? But why?
Let's go.
Is there something he still needs from Emil? Or is he just dabbing on us to show us this super cool strat? So every time he voids out here, it has a chance for Emil to change what path he's on. And so each path that Emil takes is a different shop. So we use this in some parts of the speedrun route to get the shop we want from Emil, but I can't figure out what it is that he wants.
I guess he needs mats?
Maybe he just bought something from Emil earlier to fulfill the goal, not realizing he needed a match? That's my best guess.
That's the really only thing I can think of, especially for like why you'd want this shop in particular.
Yeah, as he has to clean up some chickens that don't want him to buy items. I guess they're putting Descartes before the horse. Yeah. Fortunately, I don't think there is a Descartes. Last time I checked, I don't think they got Descartes in there, which is kind of a shame. I feel like they could have fit him in there somewhere.
I'm done with commentary now. Too many philosopher puns.
Alright, well, so now that we've killed Isum...
He's still going back to this clip. What?
Yeah,
I'm so confused.
We're gonna have to ask Amei afterwards, and then he's gonna be like, come on, you big dum-dums, this is what I was doing. But for right now, us commentators have absolutely no idea what Amei is doing other than falling in style quite a few times.
Okay, so now we get Isum doing the Masamune buys, just I guess after A2 instead of before A2.
Oh, I guess each route has multiple different... Oh my god, is he... Yeah, he didn't buy the broken circuits last time. So we had to come back for those. That makes sense, but oh man, is that unfortunate. I want to talk about a cool strat that he could have done at the very beginning of the game. When you go do the weapons trader quest and supply trader quest before you go to the desert. So this is like the very beginning of the speedrun after they got out of bunker. You can actually save load to farm materials from the stubbies. So they guarantee drop a broken battery, a broken circuit, and a small gear. and as long as you don't kill all 3, you can keep save loading and get that guaranteed drop over and over. And that would have been much faster than voiding out a million times for a meal. So I think we're gonna take the medal for this Blackout and give it to me because I came up with one route slightly better than one of the people running.
Okay, so this should be the photograph and then the ledge. Meanwhile, Isum doing some more of Jean-Paul.
Yeah, he will tread in Amei's footsteps as Amei gets the photograph here. It's a beautiful picture. I would like all of you in chat to take out your phones and take a picture yourself when Isum gets there. It's your homework.
So let's see. Isum has 2 Fission City ruins. Buy the chips, which I assume he's going to do right now because that's why you do this much story progress. Which would probably also meet the chip goal, so he'll have to do the whole Yorha Betrayers quest, and then he'll basically be done.
There's a chance that with Amei voiding out a million times, Isum may have pulled it back. I think it's gonna be closer. I think it's gonna be pretty close. The Oasis photograph takes a second.
And the very, very large detour Amei's gonna have to do for the killing machines with X program.
Yeah, the Oasis photograph, we were talking about how it was going to be rough for Isum because he was going to have to, he didn't pick up that Desert Center transporter, but he rode an animal all the way out there, which didn't take that long, actually. So he managed to find some clever routing to pull that back as well. I think an edge Amei still has is his Yorha, his Type 4.0 Lance that he's already gotten, so he's set up to upgrade that 4.0 Lance pretty quickly here. I don't think he's done all of it, but he's done quite a bit of Resistance's appearance as well, which is also needed. So that 4.0 Lance level 2 is going to be, I think, the big scary point for Isum, the big part that is holding him back from just finishing this out here.
Isum just buying every +3 chip possible.
Ooh, this is another one where if Isum runs out of money without getting 15 here, that could be a little bit painful for him because he's out of money. So hopefully he's got 15 chips right now because he does not have the money left to fuse. I mentioned that fusing was a guaranteed way, but buying chips from Emil there is another guaranteed way to get a bunch of different chips. So we see the money that we talked about earlier coming into play. I mean, Isum may have just barely gotten enough there, whereas Amei, through some clever farming and some good RNG in different areas, has not wound up nearly as tight on money.
Nearly.
Although I think, the amusement park tank core actually still provided an important piece of money for him here, so that's cool to see.
Yeah, that's not good.
Where's Isum heading?
Underground, he's gotta kill some robots with Mirage down here.
Isum already did.
Oh, Isum already did that.
He's doing Is this investigating communications? Is that required?
It's not required. Maybe it might have a reward that I'm not thinking about that might help him. Let me look up this reward here and see if it gives him anything. No, it just gives him 300 EXP.
Yeah, but that's not all. While they knew it was connected to our network, they didn't try to destroy it. It's almost like
So we'll see. We'll have to ask him what that was about. As Amei heads over to the desert.
Time to go to the Oasis.
Yeah. So I'm surprised Amei hasn't bought Beast Lord yet. He's been in the amusement park a fair few times. Maybe he's just not marked it.
I don't even know if he bought Blade program yet either, or Mirage. So he might have to.
He bought Blade and Mirage. I saw him buy Blade and Mirage. And I thought he was going to go buy Beast Lord. Maybe he didn't have enough money to buy Beast Lord at the time. Maybe he figured doing some other parts of the game would give him enough money.
I guess you can actually save it for last, because you can upgrade the Type 4 Lance and buy Beast Lord at the same time if you just go to...
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah. So let's see here. We've got fishing going on. Let's find out what Isum gets.
There's a water flea, right? So we have 2
That's a
water
water flea.
fleas. Yeah.
I'll have to check the VOD, see what Amei got at the very beginning of the game to see who wins the fishing battle. Maybe we can ask him at the end. Ooh, belly flop there. Always like to see it. That's Amei
We're
heading
going for
underground.
the blade programs.
Yeah.
Wondering why we're doing this for a second.
Is Isum fishing for? Oh no, is Isum fishing for money, or is my stream behind?
Isum is counting chips, I believe.
Okay, I think my stream is behind for Isum. There we go. All right, guys, break out your abacuses. I'm just gonna assume he's got enough if you marked
3,
it.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah.
All right. Oh, he's not gonna do. Oh, he did. Wow. So, Isum, you see doing the manager's request instead of clipping back here like Amei did. That was a nice little piece of routing from Amei that it looks like Isum just couldn't put together while he was focusing on too many other things.
I mean, Isum grabbed it when he was doing Jean-Paul's Melancholy, so it didn't waste that much time to grab it.
That's
regardless.
True. Maybe it's got a reward he wants. It gives him an extra +3 trip, but and 3000 G. So maybe he decided that he says, "Man, I need a little bit more G," and that won't be too big a detour as Amei just pumps damage into this big sponge over here. As you can see, we're level 13, Amei is, and this guy's level 35, so he does not take that much damage. We talked about how much damage Amei does, but this game heavily debuffs you if you're too far under leveled. And so this guy is scary too. With the taunt and the taunt plus up, he will one-shot. If he hits Amei, Amei is dead on the spot.
Yeah, with taunt plus 2, I'd assume so.
It's actually, I'm pretty sure he actually kills you even without taunt plus up. So just if we get there this low leveled. I could be wrong about that, but definitely with taunt. But Amei takes him out, no problem, and is one step closer to upgrading his 4-0 lance.
All right, looks like Isum's now gonna check one of the possible Yoher Betrayer spots.
Alright, we're closing in on the end. So what is Amei got left to do? He's got to upgrade his 4-0 lance, which will involve finishing resistance disappearance, and then just talking to someone who upgrades. He'll buy a Beast Sword at the same time. He's most of the way through Jean-Paul's Melancholy. So really all he's got left is to finish, you know, the upgrade, go get that Oasis photograph, and kill the machines underground. So we are closing in on it here. I think I may wind up having to pay just a little bit of money, but I think we're still gonna come in under estimate. Guess I should have made it more dollars. I was scared. I was scared that I was gonna say $5 per minute, and then we're gonna finish 40 minutes early, and I was gonna look like a like a huge fool. But I guess the runner set a pretty good estimate here for this run, and I gave him kind of a difficult board, although nothing crazy. We'll see if they flame me for it and they come chat with us. I'm not sure if we'll have enough time to chat. I'm not sure if Bingothon is running well enough on schedule, but hopefully we'll have some time to chat with these runners. Money! Oh, did Amei not have enough money? Or did he spend down? Did he have enough money and he spent down just enough?
Money for you donating.
Oh, money from me donating. Okay.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah. Maybe, you know what? Yeah, I'll say $5 for each minute early. I'll bump it up now that I see. I feel like bumping it down would be bad mannered, but bumping it up, it's for charity.
All right, time for some Mirage kills. It's gonna be sick.
This is the NieR gameplay we all came to watch. Amei circling around them to make sure he can kill them all at the same time. Getting pod B actually pretty helpful here. There we go. Getting pod B is pretty helpful here so that you can charge up the pod program and get a double program, which does more damage. Killing them all at the same time with just a single Mirage is actually not the easiest thing to do in the world.
So Amei's also doing this, improving communications. I wonder if this is just because he's already down here, so there's no real. He just wants to transport it, or
Yeah, I think it was just to get the transporter. That one makes sense. I'm not sure why Isum did it. As we see Isum fighting the Yorha Betrayers, which is a cool little side quest. I really like the side quests in Automata. Sometimes they can be a little fetch questy. They are not perfect. They're not, I would say, the game's strongest aspect, but they do a really good job, I think, of weaving it in and feeling like they're still telling a story that you're interested in. So these Yorha Betrayers here is one of my favorite side quests in the game. Especially, look how sick that other Yorha unit looks with his swords. Or her swords, I forget. With their swords.
whoosh.
All units just
Meanwhile, Amei waiting for a little bit of dialogue, which is everyone's favorite.
Hang on, 2B.
Already used.
This machine is still alive.
Dialogue
Stop
cancels, I think.
Maybe we
Unless
should
they
hold
maybe
off.
could have canceled
Its
that
main
with
drive has been trashed, so there's no way it can attack
Jukebox,
us.
but
And we might be able to learn something interesting if we stop.
I think so,
Wow.
actually. Yeah.
has Virtuous Grief level 3. Hell yeah, May, let's go. So it's the same mats as VC3, which is an important RNG element of the actual speedrun, unless you play with VC3 mod. So
Alright.
May showing off to us here that he got that.
Yep, Amei having 2 final goals left, so Jean Paul, and then probably running to the Oasis to finish, and then hopefully fishing. Hopefully we'll get some beetlefish.
Yeah, time is coming up here, I think. But man, did Isum make this close? I mean, what does Isum have left?
Just
Isum
the
has-
Foro Lance, and then Jean Paul's Melancholy as well.
So we're gonna see. I think it's gonna be a 25 to 24 finish here. It might wind up being a 25 to 23, about to be 24. But I really want to emphasize how good a performance it was from both these runners. I mean, besides I think that one key mistake from Amei of not buying the item he needed from the Emil route when he needed to. Amei has been putting on a masterful performance, and Isum had a little rough time on a couple skips, but has had some really beautiful routing to catch up here. And I mean, this is a lot of goals to do and be so close. So, I mean, this was really an awesome race from these runners. Quick chat to be fine. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, we'll at least get the congratulations, get the oh man, what happened here moment, as we see all the items on the bingo board have been marked off by at least one person. I always love seeing that.
Yep, runners both sprinting to the finish here.
Yeah, time is coming up in just a moment here. So Amei is on his way out. He's spear dashing, and he will be finishing this race here in just a moment. I really hate this, says 2B on Isum's screen. Yeah, sorry 2B, sore loser. And there is the photograph, and Amei should mark it off and win the race.
GG's.
GG's indeed.
Oh, yes, and we get the fishing. Oh, this is what I want to see.
Beautiful. Chef's kiss. All right, so that's a 5-minute underestimate time from Amei, and that'll be $25 that I will pop on in there when I get off commentary.
I believe this should be what Isum finishing as well here in just a second. Or
probably not.
What am I forgetting?
Yeah. I think Isum's gonna gonna finish out here because he was so close, but maybe we can pop the runners in for a chat. That was a really impressive race. I am excited to talk to the runners about it and see if they hate me for the board we gave them. Thank you all for hanging out and watching with us, chat. I think you really got to witness some really high-level bingo there. I know sometimes you can see the spaghetti that goes on and think maybe, oh man, maybe this was just them. Isum woke up at 7 in the morning for this, or earlier than 7 in the morning. But actually, this is really high level. Just when you have to play, I'm sure you guys know from watching other things at Bingothon, when you have to route this many goals and when you have to route it while trying to play fast, it's really impressive to be able to put up the speed that they were able to put up, and a little bit of mistakes are just expected. Like, your brain is going in so many directions, it's just going to happen. It's how much, not if.
So I guess we do we want to go ahead and start asking Amei some questions?
Yeah, Amei and Isum, I think have been moved to this chat. So congratulations, Amei.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I was doing something.
Not a problem. So that was really an impressive race. I'm not sure, you may have known from listening to commentary. I'm not sure if you were in the commentary at all or just in the chat, but were you aware of how close this race was?
I was pretty aware. I didn't think it would be this close. Where it's like, what, 2 goals apart?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, so one of the most impressive parts too was you guys split routing in the desert, where you grabbed the moose to do the awesome moose clip, and Isum went underground, and then you came right back together, and then you guys split routing again, and then I forget where it was. I think it was like, to who's doing the kill all the enemies in the amusement park, and then coming out of the amusement park, you guys came right back together. So even with split routes, you guys wound up like neck and neck for almost the whole time.
Damn. It's crazy.
All right, so walk us through what part of the speed run, what part of this bingo were you most proud of, and what was your biggest piece of spaghetti? Amei.
Okay, I'll get the spaghetti out of the way first, because that was pretty big. I did desert a meal, and I didn't buy the items that I needed. So I had to spend a good 5 minutes refreshing him at a outside resistance camp, which was not great.
We were wondering, and we put together eventually that you must have forgot that buy.
Yeah.
We were wondering if you were just trying to swag on him a little bit.
Nah, it was a pretty costly mistake, honestly. But aside from that, I feel like I took a decent route through everything. Definitely getting Iron Pipe, Pogger's RNG.
Oh, did you know that Isum also got first try pipe? So it was a pipe versus pipe race, which I'm sure Isum will bemoan that the RNG gods have blessed it all in this random bingo. So that was that's I think was probably my favorite part of the routing, was that you and Isum both upgrading Iron Pipe, going out of your way to get the mats to get level 2 Iron Pipe, because you both did not upgrade Virtuous Grief or Virtuous Contract so that you could upgrade Grief. I think that was, I mean, only in Blackout Bingo.
For sure. It's definitely something to get used to. I was dash swinging with a level 1 sword for God knows how long.
Yeah.
Oh, Weenie Swag. We gotta talk about Weenie Swag too.
Oh, so you saw that?
Oh yeah, I mean, all of chat now knows the glory that is Weenie Swag.
I have to do it. There's no run that is worthy of not doing that now. It saves absolutely no time and is arguably way harder. But it's cool.
Yeah.
As we see some wonderful NieR Automata, it's the secret level of NieR Automata on Amei's screen right now.
It was also like super big brain of both of you to not upgrade VC to level 2 at first and to save it for the mats later on.
Yeah.
Getting B-sides is really annoying early on. Because you'd have to kill like 10 plus beasts in order to get it.
So, fun
Get a
fact,
physical.
actually, John Paul's Melancholy gives 5 Beast Hide.
Ooh.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So,
I didn't know that.
so it actually, we were talking about there was some possibility of you could do John Paul's Melancholy and then go to your body in the resistance camp. So you could have done it anyway and route it in fairly closely. But with Iron Pipe, I actually think the Virtuous Grief route, especially with Amei, how you got Machine Axe, upgrade Masamune, and upgrade Virtuous Grief all like right there on the route before A2. I think that actually wound up being brilliant, even though it was possible without skipping the VC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I solidly learned also two things this run. I've not seen that Virtuous Grief clip out before. That was pretty pog. And I did not know you could pick up a pod while on an animal. So,
I didn't know that either.
oh,
I
nice.
was kind of confused.
Press E to hop off the moose. Oh shit! I picked up the
Yeah.
pod. And they coded this Y because this is the only pickupable pod, and they certainly I don't think expected you to have a moose out there. So
So, what about
Can't
yourself,
complain.
Isum? The what do you think was your biggest brain and your smoothest brain moments of this run?
Well, I think my smoothest brain moment was the fact that I not only got I messed up Dan's hole, or Angle's hole. I also messed up the backup for it. I was like, oh, I'll just load the save, and it'll be all fine. I can. Actually, that worked, but then I wasn't able to do the backup again.
All right.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh no, go
sorry.
ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was just going to say we'll soon have to wrap it up. I've got a couple things to say, but beforehand, do you have any final words you'd like to say?
Yeah, if you're interested in playing the video games in a quick manner, our Discord that has all the resources and links and everything is sponsored by Drakengard.com. Yes, that is a real link that will redirect you to our Discord. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I would like to thank Bingothon for having NieR once again. I think NieR's been in almost every, if not every, Bingothon, and we always love to be here. It keeps the NieR Bingo community alive.
All right. In that case, just before doing the final thing, I was asked one very important question in chat earlier, which Amei will have to answer. Amei, what is your favorite type of chicken?
Silky.
There we go. Hopefully, that will satisfy you, that answer. There we go. So first off, thank you so much to both of you for both running and also for the commentary for this run. I think we all really enjoyed this run. So up next, right after this intermission, we'll be having The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword Randomizer, which is definitely gonna be really interesting. Just before we move on, we actually do have one donation from the DM Panda. It's a $10 donation saying, I heard you need donations, so here, take my money. Money goes to Karen's Choice. Totally not a signal to flow out there. Thank you very much for your donation, Panda. And reminder that if you want to give a donation towards the bid war for Link's name in Skyward Sword, now is the time to do it. With that said, we'll be moving on into the intermission. So thank you everyone, and we'll be seeing you on Skyward Sword Randomizer.
I think the answer is that we don't know. We haven't been able to test this mix and match strategy. It's possible that it would be good because there is this thing in the vaccine world that's called like heterologous prime boost, where occasionally if you give one type of vaccine and then do another, you can actually see an effect that is over and above both of them. But those have been done in like properly tested scenarios. That is not the case here. I think the case here is that we don't actually know whether you can mix and match. In the absence of knowledge, I would definitely recommend sticking to trying to get the second dose of whatever you got from the first dose. And for things like AstraZeneca, actually, when the UK did the first dose and the delayed second dose, they even found that a delayed second dose even helps the efficiency of the vaccine to fight disease. So you can push it out beyond the 3 or 4 week window and it should be okay.
All right, welcome back everybody. Welcome to Bingothon Summer 2021. I hope you are enjoying the show just as much as we are. So, up next, we've got The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword Randomizer by Lepolog versus CGS07 versus someone named Floa258.
Who's that?
Who, I don't know. I think he may be an imposter. I don't know.
Well, I've finally, some guy, I don't know who it was, managed to send me like login information, so I can actually read the donations now. And we do have one.
Interesting to hear.
Yeah, one of the last commentators for NieR Automata, which if you're just joining us, you've just missed. Game Commander has donated $25, saying, as promised, $5 each for each. Sorry, as promised, $5 for each of the 5 minutes underestimate Amei finished. So thank you very much for that donation there, Game Commander.
Indeed, thank you so much. I can see right now we're sitting at $257 all for Fred Hutch, which is really great. For those that don't know, Fred Hutch was named the coordinating center for the COVID vaccine prevention network all the way back in July 2020. and they've done so much more since then. They also keep working on projects such as HIV vaccine trials as well. You can probably see in the intermission videos as well that there's a lot of projects they're working on. So they're definitely a great cause to donate for, and it's amazing that in just a few hours we've reached that amount.
Yeah, it's great. Coming up after Skyward Sword, we've got a lot of great games coming today. I've actually lost this. Coming up after Skyward Sword, this will be the beginning of our Zelda block. We have Skyward Sword, and then after that we will have Breath of the Wild, and after Breath of the Wild we'll have A Link to the Past Randomizer. So 3 really great Zelda games coming up back to back. Stay tuned for all that. If you're just joining us, welcome. You are watching Bingothon Summer 21. Coming at you live from all over the world.
Yes, indeed. All over the world. And we actually just got word that tech is ready for the upcoming run of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword Randomizer. Once again, I have no idea who Floha258 would be. I know someone named Karen running this game, but I don't know anyone named Floa, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure Floa impersonated Karen. But yes, jokes aside for the host bingo, we'll be getting started in just a moment. So sit tight, everyone, and